Hi everyone, Jo Carter here. I'm here today doing my July book haul, which are all the books that I purchased in July, which happen to be 9 of them, which is quite insane since I've got sort of 100 plus books waiting to be read at home that I've never opened before. But I did a blog post recently about my 3 book buying restrictions, which just briefly, number 1 was I have to buy in the series that I've already started before. Number 2 is that it has to be in the cover edition or size as the rest of the series that I have. And number 3 is I'm only supposed to buy 1 book per month. Obviously with these 9 books that I've bought, I've broken the rule, but there is an exemption in that 3rd rule, is that if there's a book fair or a special price or I'm on holidays, I'm allowed to buy more than 1. The first books that I ended up buying, I broke my first rule, which was that I have to buy them in the series that I've already bought before. I bought these 2 here. So this is the first, By the Mast Divided, and the second, A Shot Roiling Ship. They're by David Donarchi, I think is how you pronounce it, and it's about a man that's get forced into the Navy in London in the 1700s. So that could be fun. I bought them because the covers look really cool, and I'm also wanting to start reading some more kind of like on the sea ship kind of piratey things. These aren't pirates, obviously, because they're in the Navy. Maybe they'll meet pirates, you know, it's the 1700s, who knows. But yeah, I'm really excited to be reading these 2 eventually, but I did break my rule because I've never bought these books before or read them, but I had to because they were so pretty, and I also didn't want to walk out empty-handed. The aisles are sort of arranged alphabetically by author's last name, and I'd gotten up to D already and hadn't found anything. So yes, I decided to get those ones. So yeah, they're cool. So the second book I picked up, which might actually be the first thinking about all of the alphabetical order, is an Agatha Christie one. I can get it in the sunlight because it's quite a cool edition. Yeah, it's by Agatha Christie, The Body in the Library. I haven't actually read anything by her yet, but I went to a garage sale. I think it was a garage sale, or it might have been raising money for a church or something like that, and there was a Agatha Christie there that had 3 volumes in one, and the book was only $2. So I couldn't really help myself. I've been really wanting to read some Agatha Christie since I've been getting more into crime and mystery kind of fiction. This amazing bookstagram person that I follow, Nikki, I'm trying to think what it's called, Nikki in Bookland, or Wonder Bookland, I think. She was Alice in Wonder Bookland. But yeah, she's changed herself to her name, Nikki, and she posts all these beautiful kind of like vintage secondhand bookshop Agatha Christie ones, and that's really actually why I wanted to read these, because the books looked really cool, and I'm into mysteries. So this wasn't breaking any rules because I already have some in the I think it's the Miss Marple series that this is in on Maple, so if that wasn't breaking a rule, and this is really cool. It's got like this, you know, bird on the back for her. The only thing about it is that it's see how like spine, but it's missing the Agatha and the start of Christie. But that's okay. Secondhand, $2. It's pretty cool. So the 3rd book I ended up buying was a Emma Watson's Our Shared Shelf pick for, I think it was months ago or when she first started, and that is Woman Who Run with the Wolves. I'm not sure what I'm going to feel about this. My friend who was actually with me, Ebony, her partner Tony, Ebony started to read this and she never really got into it, and she's a very sort of good reader. She reads really, really quickly and really hard things as well, so I'm a bit dubious as to whether I'll enjoy this. It's like a feminist book, and about how, God, let me just read it again. It's pretty much like how sort of mythology sort of surrounding, you know, wild women and things like that, like the Amazon, and you know, women who, like it says, run with the wolves, how that can help sort of empower the modern day kind of woman. So that should be interesting, and hopefully it'll be a good empowering read. This book I ended up picking up was Harper Lee's sequel, Ghosts That Are Watchmen. I read To Kill a Mockingbird not in high school. I think my sister read it in high school. I read it as a required reading for an Australian Writers Centre's course. I think I enjoyed it. I mean, it was a while ago that I read it. I certainly don't remember being bored. And it is a book that kind of would interest me because I'm interested in sort of social justice and things like that. it'll be interesting to see how Ghost of the Watchmen goes, as there's been obviously mixed reviews about it. It is also in not really the sort of style that I would like to read, but I don't know whether there's a smaller version published, and I thought for $2, something that I don't know whether I'm going to enjoy or keep, yeah, it's worth it. So that'll be interesting to see how that one goes, and again, doesn't break a rule because I've read the first one. The next book that I ended up picking up wasn't actually something that I think I walked past it and I didn't really know. I mean, I'm not looking for anything new really if I can help myself. But it was actually a lady came past and recommended it to me. She was standing at the store next to me and she just randomly said to me, you know, have you read, I think, how do you pronounce it? Shantaram? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but no, I haven't. And she said it was really good. She was so engrossed in it. And that it was $2, and if I don't like it, then it might as well be a doorstop. And I pretty much said, oh well, I agree with you, and it's nice to get recommendations off people. It is, I think it's a kind of a biography. I'm not sure how much sort of the author, Gregory David Roberts, has sort of injected into it to make it more exciting. The blurb, like, these are all sort of like, you know, acclaims, and this is the blurb where it sounds like it's actually about the author, but it's about the author's life. So he was born in Australia, which is cool, Australian author, and he and spent 10 years 10 years on the run, sort of over in Bombay, which I think is maybe like in Indonesia or something like that, being sort of like a smuggler and working for the Bombay Mafia. And then he gets recaptured again and serves out his sentence, and now he's a writer and has a successful multimedia company. So I think that's just his story. I like the cover, it's really pretty, and hopefully it'll be really interesting, and it's sort of based or is a true story. So that's really cool. The last book I ended up picking up is Lies by Michael Grant, except, oh, there you can see it in the sunlight. It's in black text as well. I've got Gone, never read it before. I actually bought it for my cousin, but she decided that she didn't want to read it anymore. She does sort of book on hauls, which is really cool for me because I get free books again. And obviously I think the book is worthwhile if I bought it for her. My brother-in-law has read these and he really enjoys them. So hopefully this is, I'm just reading here, it's the third book. So I'll need to get the second, but I thought, hey, it's cheap, I might as well get it while it's $2. And it's not breaking any of my rules because it is a series that I already own, even if I have not read it before. So those are my 9 books that I purchased. It came to $18 altogether, which is really great. $2 a book, because most books over here are like $20 or $25, or I can imagine Ghost of the Watchmen would have been like $30 or something like that when it first came out. Really cheap, and it's good to support our local Rotary Club. And that is hopefully the last book haul that I will do for a while. Because I broke 2 of the rules with the 2 first books there, I am trying not to buy books in August and September. Technically, Shantaram, that's part of a series. I think there's a second book that is written. I'm counting that as a book to the start of a series, which I was going to count as another book that I couldn't buy. Another month that I couldn't buy as a penalty, sort of. So I've got August and September that I'm not supposed to buy books in, and October I was going to say no as well, but that's when Harry Potter and the Prison of Azkaban comes out in Illustrated, so I can't have to buy that. That's my book haul for July, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!